What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever, period. I'm your host, Pharaoh, and as you see by the title, today we're going to be talking about the final, part one of the final of the Challenge 41 Vets and New Threats. And right off the bat, I have to say, it's really just the Challenge New Threats. Because the Vets, I wouldn't use that term. I would maybe say the older versus the new threats, maybe the experience. It doesn't even feel like experience. Experience feels like a big word. Maybe the grandfathered in, the anachronistic and new threat. I don't know. Old. I just don't know what word to use. Used to, because you can't say they're used to this because they don't seem comfortable. You can't say experience because they don't seem experienced. You really can't say vets because they don't seem like vets. Maybe vets in the term of like retired, right? Like, older, retired, washed up, used, right? And new threats. Because, wow, this final was embarrassing. And this is also the first final in challenge history where none of the people participating are from the MTV original show, any MTV shows. And I think it's very fitting considering every MTV show has gotten canceled this year. Catfish is canceled. Ridiculousness is canceled. Teen Mom is canceled. The challenge is probably going to get canceled, or I think it's getting sold to Paramount, so it's moving networks. MTV is dead, and that is very apparent by the performance of this final and the fact that none of them are from any MTV shows. Very interesting. We're in a world where we've lost the plot, and I feel like we've always lost the plot. I personally feel like they should have shifted to getting their own casting team a while ago, where they casted newbies just for the challenge, not people from other shows. I think that whole concept got washed up a while ago when they stopped getting people from just MTV from the get-go. They probably should have just started making their own stars, because MTV did make their own stars, which is why Johnny Bananas is such a big name. People still love Nani to this day. We remember Anissa, and I feel like they're leeching onto these people and they're holding on to all of these OG MTV names, when it's like you really should have just been creating new names that originated at MTV from the get-go. Instead of getting bitches from the UK and shit like that, you should have just actually used a casting team to find people from applications or from the internet, or who's never been on reality TV, and made their own name starting off with the challenge. I feel like that would have made a bigger impact. And now y'all are looking stupid and don't have anybody to represent the show because everybody else is kind of flopping and old now, as we see by this final. But hey, that's just me. Apparently, y'all, next season of the challenge is going to be shorter. I don't know if it's going to be less episodes, but they're recording it for a shorter amount of time. It's going to be presented on Paramount instead of MTV. Baby, they're borderline finna get canceled. Deserved. Especially after this final. Y'all, this was boring. This was horrid. And it's weird because like they are doing these excruciating things, but it's boring to watch. Truly, I was not entertained that much at all. I was like, okay, this is just whatever. Like, I don't know. It just felt like a regular ass episode. Really, it didn't feel special at all. It didn't feel like a final at all. I don't know what they need to do, but they need to fix something because this is horrid. Really, they just need to go ahead and bow out. It seems like they're going to get canceled. That sounds like what we need to go with, because baby, this was embarrassing on the producer's part and on the challenger's part. The fuck are we doing here? The fuck out my face. So the challenge, of course, or the final, you can barely tell it's a challenge. I damn near called it the daily. The final has checkpoints. You have to complete the checkpoints and move forward and da-da-da-da-da. Obviously, they're running, doing a checkpoint, running, doing a checkpoint, running, doing a checkpoint, as they have been for every final since I've been watching, damn near. So let's get into it. The first checkpoint they got to do is this White River rafting shit. They're doing a river. Let's look at a river shit. Now this does look intense.
Remember that.
I'm not gonna play you like I know
just
how
to
row on a river, because I don't. So anyways, there's these artifacts along the river. You have to remember the artifacts, and then once you're done paddling on the river, you have to name all the artifacts you passed in order. If you name all of them, you can move forward. And if you miss one, you add 2 minutes that you have to wait before you can move on to the next checkpoint. So let's say you miss 3, then that's 6 minutes, and you have to wait 6 minutes before you can move forward, right? So at this point, there was a moment where Michaela and Cedric were kind of in the lead. They had did the best, and then they did really good with their pattern. But Turbo and Sydney kind of overtook them. They ate. And I think in this moment, who was in first place? In this moment, Yermi and Olivia were in first place. They were able to get their checkpoint 1 done first. So they leave in first place. Michaela and Cedric leave in second place. And then we see some shit starts happening with Michaela. And this is like the beginning of this final being lackluster, in my opinion. It's like we started off this kayaking thing. This was cute or whatever. Let's see how it goes. But very quickly, you see that so many people are struggling. And it's like, okay, it's becoming less and less competitive because, well, look at this. Let me just show you.
Like, flat part we have.
And this girl leg.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my God.
Oh. It's just very unstable. It's swollen. It's painful. It's just not the way you want to go into a final. Come on.
I am insane in pain.
Get it past her.
This is my second final.
This is the thing. Michaela's leg has been fucked since the beginning of the motherfucking season. Her leg has been bad the whole time. And it's like, at this point, okay, Anissa, like, I'm sorry. I've never done a final, especially with a broken leg, but I fear you just got to keep moving. Like, in this moment, she's pausing and they're passing her up. But the truth is, she ends up completing the circle anyways. So I know this is going to sound crazy and I'm finna sound like Jordan. But if you're going to continue to run anyways, just don't stop. Like, she stopped and all she did was let Turbo and Sydney pass them up, and then Theo and Adrian pass them up, when she ended up continuing the loop anyways. If you're going to keep going and keep running on this fuck-ass leg, all stopping is doing is making y'all lose because you were going to complete the run anyways. So if you're going to complete the run anyways, just keep running on the fuck-ass leg. She's not running on the leg. She continues to run on the ankle. The ankle is still getting rolled. So fuck it. Keep going. Like, when Turbo and Jordan are like, we ran finals with broken fingers and broken leg. It's true. They did. Keep running, because if you're going to keep running anyways, why stop? Like, in hindsight, what was the point of Michaela stopping right here? Why stop right here? You didn't fix your ankle. You didn't quit the challenge. You continued to run afterwards. So what was the point? Giving it a break isn't really doing anything. If you're going to fuck up that ankle, fuck up that ankle. And then the flip side is, honestly, if she feels like she doesn't want to fuck up her ankle, bow out, queen. That's a viable option too. I would have much rather her either quit or keep on running. Don't slow down. Slow down is the worst answer, in my opinion. You either need to just quit or you need to keep on running. Why are we slowing? Why are we going slower? That's not doing anything for you. Your ankle isn't going to feel better because you're walking slower on it. You still walking on that hoe. Get to walking. So that was mistake 1 of goddamn you vets suck. And it's really not her fault she fucked up her ankle. I'm gonna get off of her. Because really, out of anyone, at least Michaela has an excuse, and at least Olivia has an excuse. The other niggas, who is it? Turbo and Theo, y'all supposed to be men. What's happening to y'all? I'm confused. And fuck the male and the female. Y'all don't have an excuse. Olivia is fully pregnant. Michaela's ankle is fucked the fuck up. What's going on with y'all? Cramps and tired? The fuck out my face. The fuck? So they're running to the next checkpoint, and then we get to checkpoint 2. Checkpoint 2 is like this memory game type of situation. I've seen it on TikTok here and there. They be doing it with the bottles. Let me just show y'all. It's cute.
Not necessarily. You just
Yes, don't touch. 3-1-0, correct. Don't touch.
Turbo.
Now I will say, when Turbo was like checking Sydney, I was like, you better be checking her and actually getting the answer, because don't check her and then flop. But my man is still doing good. I heard so much shit talk about Turbo, and honestly, I don't get it, because he actually was doing great at these checkpoints. He did great at this checkpoint. He does great at the next checkpoint. He really was the best performing vet, in my opinion. Every other vet flopped. Now, Turbo still had his moments where I'm like, you're weak and you're flopping and you need to do a little bit more weight. But even in this moment when he was checking Sydney, he was actually getting the answer correct. So it's like, okay, you got it. But yeah, this is the
relationship. I've nursed that relationship and caressed it and massaged it this entire time. And the politicking is done. However, Turbo still wants to control me.
And I feel like, yes, he probably shouldn't have like tried to tell her to move out the way and that she definitely could have helped, but he succeeded. And Sydney says that later. She's like, the fact that Turbo actually is doing good, I'm gonna just shut up and let him have it. And it's like, period, shut up and let my man have it. Exactly. The fuck, you know what the fuck he was doing. I don't know why people were harping on Turbo. There are so many people to be disappointed in this final. Well, really, he is one of them. You still should be disappointed. He's supposed to be this GOAT legend. He won his first challenge. He's that girl. He does anything, and he's doing good, but he could be doing even better. The fact that he has any struggles is kind of like, what's going on? Because we get here, and then Yermi and Olivia get here, and they've kind of are getting here as Sydney and Turbo are leaving. And as Sydney and Turbo are leaving, Turbo's complaining. And it's like, okay, King, you know, although you did good, it's so hard with Turbo because he's doing good at these challenges, but also it's like, why are you flopping? Look at
this is your part.
Like, why are you tired?
My left leg is dying. Oh.
You okay?
Oh, legs are dying. Don't run.
Are you injured?
Yeah.
Or just a cramp?
Yeah, pulling. Cramp pulling so badly now.
This man got a cramp. And I'm like, okay, King, like, fuck a cramp. I'm really with Sydney on this. Baby, fuck a cramp. We're in the final. I will say at least he's in the lead with a cramp. I feel like this is how I feel, and maybe I'm wrong. If you're in the lead and you're doing really good at the checkpoints, you can have a cramp or two as long as you're continuing to go. It's not like Turbo has a cramp and he stopped. Like, no shade to Michaela. He didn't stop and kneel down and hold his cramp and the cramp. He kept moving. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to excuse my man because my man is doing the checkpoints and his cramp ain't holding him back that much. But I'm just like, ooh, you might be getting a little too old. But it goes back to, why are the rumors saying that they're calling Error 1 people for the next season of the challenge? We have moved past Error 1. What was the point of All Stars if we're going to continue to get people from Error 1 and Error 2 on the flagship? Why aren't we moving forward? The reason that Survivor can last for 50 seasons, Big Brother can last for 20 plus seasons, The Amazing Race can last for 30 plus seasons is because there's fresh, new faces every time. Granted, the challenge has made it to 40 seasons plus as well. However, you're dying out. You're a dying breed. You're dying for it. You're a dying breed. You truly are a dying breed. You're dying. The show is dying. The show is not making it forward. It's finna get canceled. We need fresh. We need new. We need innovative. Because over the times, I feel like the thing that these other shows have done that the challenge hasn't consistently did is they've innovated. They've changed with the times. The meta of the game has changed with the time for all of these shows. The challenge truly has been the most archaic show of the bunch. They really started off in a certain area and they kind of keep this consistent energy of what the challenge is. The challenge hasn't really evolved. We still get Nani 30 seasons later talking about you're not a good moral person because you turned on your, we get the same storylines we've gotten at the beginning of the challenge history. And it's like, we haven't really evolved. Every other show has evolved past this stupid meta that started at the beginning of the game of, no, you're supposed to be loyal and moral and no, we're friends and we politic and that's how you play the challenge and da da da. I feel like it's always been that's how you play the challenge from the beginning to the end. And it's like, because there's been no evolving, we haven't really got anywhere. And there was a moment where they were kind of like War of the Worlds and they were like kind of evolving a little bit, like they were expanding and it was getting different, it was getting brand new, but we've kind of started going backwards now we're reverting back to keeping it stagnant. It's like every time the challenge moves up a place, they kind of revert back to where they feel comfortable, and it's Era 1 and Era 2 and these same boring people and bringing back the same people over and over again. And we're going to bring this new set of people, but over and over again. And we're going to bring this other set of people, but it's the old people and they're going to come over and over again. And it's like, y'all keep getting into the same cycle. And that's why the show keeps going downhill. Get out of the cycle, break the cycle, please. But we move. So, yeah, we get to the next checkpoint. Checkpoint 3, it's just like Rubik's QB situation, but really all they have to do is make sure that each row and each column has a different color for their situation, I believe is what it is. And at this point, Turbo and Sydney have passed everybody. They are gone. No one has seen Turbo and Sydney. But Cedric and Michaela are kind of on Olivia and Yermi's ass because Olivia is not running the fastest. Yermi is like eating it up, but Olivia has to kind of keep up with him, and Michaela and Cedric are able to kind of like catch up a little bit. So we're kind of closing the gap.
We still see Olivia and Yermi are working on this puzzle, so we have a chance to make up ground, gain on them a little bit here.
We find out that it really doesn't matter who's making up ground where, which I feel like is stupid. But this checkpoint was cute. Like, I feel like the checkpoints were maybe not too easy. I think they were too easy. Like, it seemed like every checkpoint, for the most part, when you got there, you were able to complete it within the same amount of time. It doesn't really help you catch up. We needed a checkpoint where it's like, it's taking so long for one group, but one group could really do it, or this checkpoint isn't taking that long, but the other one, like, none of them were difficult enough. I feel like this Rubik's Cube board should have been 10 spaces to the left. It should have been 10 cubes at the top and 10 cubes at the bottom and 10 cubes. It should have been way more. Like, they need to be doing more grand and more big things. I know they're running around and they're tired, but these checkpoints still need to be intense for us as viewers to feel like, damn, this is really a moment. Like, none of these checkpoints gave anything, honestly. Like, they came in, they finished it, and they left. And that was all that was. So boom. At this point, though, by the time Theo and Adrian get here, Turbo and Sydney have come back for checkpoint 4. So they're about to lap Theo and Adrian. But this is when it gets stupid. Y'all, there's always a point on the challenge where it's like, yep, there it is. You are still an idiot. Because what the fuck is this? Listen to this, please. Please listen to this. These are the rules for checkpoint 4.
In this head-to-head speed round, we'll lose and we'll need to wait until the next team arrives for another challenge. The winning team may board this helicopter in advance of the course. So I have to wait for another team?
What the fuck?
So why did I kill myself?
So they had them running for 3 checkpoints, gaining time on all of the other teams, consistently running and running and running, keeping up pace to where Turbo and Sydney were about to lap another team, for them to have to wait for another team to get there so they can go head to head in the challenge. I find that so stupid. And honestly, I think an equalizer or equalizing things in the final is stupid. I don't know why. Maybe I'm the problem, but this is how I feel. I feel like because the challenge is so obsessed with making their show last for so long, which is a stupid idea, that they want to make sure the final is within at least 2 parts. And for them to do that, there must be some sort of equalizer every single time. By the end of this leg, they're going to be at the overnight challenge where they're all equalized again. And it's like, what was the point of all 4 of these checkpoints if we're just going to equalize them by the end of the night? The challenge should be one day, one extreme task, and we should move forward. They should have been climbing the mountain to begin with, and by climbing the mountain, they should have been having to do these checkpoints to begin with. Ever since they added the overnight portion, they've always done a dumbass equalizer in the middle of the motherfucking final, to where it's like, why did we have the first part of the final anyways? Turbo and Sydney should have won. It should be over. They've beasted over these checkpoints. They've moved past all of these people. They damn near lapped them. And this was it. If the final was supposed to be the mountain, why didn't we start off on the mountain? And why weren't the checkpoints on the mountain? I don't understand equalizing them. That's so stupid. Why did we just, because now us as viewers, we just wasted time watching them do nothing. Not only did Turbo and Sydney feel like they wasted their time and energy, we feel like we wasted our time and energy. In hindsight, Turbo and Sydney could have walked just as slow as Theo and Adrian, because by the end of this night, we're all going to be equalized. The fuck out my face. This shit is stupid. What's the point? So we get here, and they have to wait for Olivia and Yermi to get here for them to compete. And then this is where you really get to the, okay, I'm done. Because it's very clear that all of the vets are just late. Like at this point, it's like you're lazy. Like you've played so many times, and this is why people playing so many times is not good. Turbo has already won the show. Olivia knows she's gonna get called back as many times as you guys ask her. Theo has gotten called back 8 times already. Michaela has gotten called back 3 times already. They know they have the leeway to just get called back and called back and called back, and that's why the challenge starts becoming boring, because these bitches don't care. You need people who have played for the first time, who are excited to be here, like Sydney, like Cedric, like Jeremy, like Adrian. This is do or die for them. They genuinely need to win, or else they don't know if they'll get a call back. We need that every single season, so that way we have a competitive final. This final would have been so much more competitive if it was literally just the new threats. If it was Izzy competing, she would be fighting hard. Will will be fighting hard. Justin will be fighting hard. Gabe will be fighting hard. All of the new threats would be fighting hard because they don't know if they'll ever come back. All of these vets who've been spoiled with these returning checks to return every fucking season, it makes the game boring. You can't keep bringing these flop ass fuckers back. They're fuckers and they're flops. They're going to sit there and they're not going to care because they're going to come back and they're going to do it again. Or they don't care because they know there's an equalizer at the end. That's the thing. Theo's on Twitter and he's like, girl, of course I'm not going to exert myself. There's probably going to be an equalizer and I could probably catch up next round. And it's like the fact that he knows that, it's too much fucking meta. Stop letting these niggas back. Fuck are we doing? But we move. Look at this shit, though. Look at this bullshit, y'all. I'm finna show you a montage of bullshit. Just sit through the montage of bullshit and look at this bullshit, because this is some bullshit. All these weak-ass vets. I ain't never gonna call them vets again. I'll call them the anachronistics of it all. The elders.
All right, sir, we can get off if you want.
Yeah, brother.
And his fuck ass got off.
Do you want me to try so I can have a dog in the fight, or do you want me to save my legs?
And Olivia needed a dog in the fight, so she can.
I guess that's your call.
I feel like I should save my legs.
Yeah, do it.
Turbo getting off saving his legs. Olivia getting off saving her legs. What the fuck are we doing? Saving legs? This is the final.
I have to leave this one to Cedric because my ankle is completely.
Here go Michaela.
So to you, Adrian, I can't do it.
And Theo on the ground. Why is it up to Adrian? What do you mean it's up to you, Adrian? Theo, you are a 6'3" athlete, allegedly an athlete. Why the fuck is it up to Adrian? They all suck. Turbo got down and made Sydney walk. He's a loser. Olivia made Jeremy walk. At least Olivia's pregnant. Michaela ankle broke. Okay, Anissa. Like, what's happening? What's happening? What the fuck is happening? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Why is everyone not walking on those stairs? Why is everyone not walking on those stairs? And I get it. Oh, we should save our energy. Half the team should save the energy. Da, 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 da. Baby Turbo, you're Turbo. You're supposed to be Turbo. This iconic challenger king. Da, 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 and you're getting off the Stairmaster to let Sydney do it. Get the fuck out of my fucking face. Get the fuck out my face. And then it doesn't stop there. When we get to the last checkpoint, all the last person has to do is one of the team members has to swim out and get a key real quick. Turbo can't get out, can't go get his key. He's too scared. He's weak. Sydney has to get it for her. When Michaela and Cedric goes, Michaela can't swim either. Baby, the ankle don't got that much to do with the swimming, but she can't swim either. Cedric got to swim. When Olivia and Jeremy gets there, Jeremy got to swim. And Olivia's like, oh, thank God. Like, wow, damn, at least be quiet about it. Oh, thank God, Jeremy, you got to do it. Thank God you'll do it. What the fuck? Like, y'all all are weak. All of the new threats, but put in all the work, and then the weakest of them all, we have to show this clip. Y'all look at this punk Theo. Theo's such a little sissy.
Theo, go get the key.
No, shut up.
And Olivia was checking his ass. Go get that. Be a man.
This is Theo, you know. Theo, same like a pussy chica.
And honestly, Turbo, why are you talking? Because Turbo's whole thing was, oh, you the man. You're supposed to go out and get the key. Baby, Sydney went and got the key for you, Miss Ma'am. Miss Ma'am. Is Sydney the man too? Like, no, you didn't go get your key either, so I don't know why the fuck you was talking, but he was also right. Theo, get your big tall ass out in that water and go get that fuck ass key, baby. It's right across the river. But the gag is, like I said earlier, Theo knows it doesn't matter. Theo knows it doesn't matter, so he's not gonna waste his motherfucking time. And that's where it's like we can't keep asking these bitches to come back. We truly can't keep asking these same bitches to come back because now it's getting ridiculous. Honestly, truly. Go get the key. So Adrian had to get in the water and go get the key for them. And it's like, why is she carrying? Why is Sydney carrying? Why is Jeremy carrying? It's not just that Jeremy and Sydney and Cedric are doing so good. It's that they're carrying the entire team. What's happening? The most even team, in my opinion, is Turbo and Sydney. I do think Turbo did actually help on half of the checkpoints and Sydney helped on the other half. Although I think Sydney could have did it all herself, I will say. I do think Turbo helped at least more so than any of the other groups. I'm like, it's so uneven. It's not an even balance, which is why by the end of the episode, when TJ comes and says, does anybody want to stake a claim? In my opinion, all of the men should be staking the claim for Sydney. Period. Sydney has clearly been the most effective woman in this final. If you want to win, you will be staking a claim. If I was Cedric, sorry, Michaela, I'm staking a claim. I need Sydney. If I'm Jeremy, sorry, Olivia, you're flopping. I'm staking a claim. I need Sydney. I'm staking a claim for Sydney, period, if I'm any of the men. And if I'm any of the women, I feel like, honestly, either you stake a claim for Jeremy or you stake a claim for Turbo, because I feel like they've been doing okay. I don't think Turbo's that bad. If Sydney doesn't want to stake a claim, I think that makes sense. I think Turbo is helping her enough to where she shouldn't stake a claim. They're literally in first place. There's no reason for Sydney or Turbo to stake a claim. But the other teams, I feel like, honestly, maybe. Olivia, I think Jeremy is carrying the fuck out of Olivia. Keep him. Even Michaela. Cedric is doing a lot for Michaela. Keep him. It is what it is. But Adrian, you should if Adrian doesn't stake a claim, I have to call her dumb. Theo genuinely does not give a fuck. Like, he doesn't care. He didn't care to even try to help. Adrian has been carrying a lot. Adrian should stake a claim of all the women, and I think all the men should stake a claim on Sydney, if you ask me. Personally, that's just how I feel. Truly. But hey, we're here. That was the final. I'm bored. We'll be back for part 2. Let's see how that goes. Let me rank the girls. Baby, Sydney and Maga Asylum, she's not moving. Theo, Maga Asylum, he's not moving. The truth is, I got to put Sydney above Theo in the Maga Asylum this time because Theo is such a fucking flop. The fuck? Theo is the least Maga Asylum of this episode. Get the fuck out of my face. Adrian, honestly, camp for carrying her motherfucking team. The hell? She carried the fuck out of Theo. She carried him running. She carried him through the checkpoints. He was like, I'm too tired to even do it. She was the one who got the key at the end. Like, God damn it. Olivia, chop, honey. What the fuck are you doing? Nothing. Oh, we should just, oh, can you do, oh, let me step off the stair. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Jeremy, camp for carrying his team. The fuck? Cedric, camp for carrying his team. The fuck? Turbo, mid. Because why is Sydney doing all the hard work? Why is Sydney doing all the hard work? Because you're doing the easy checkpoints. Let's make that clear. The checkpoints Turbo's doing are the easy ones. Sydney's doing all the hard work. Mid. Michaela, I'm sorry, mama. Child. Like that leg, that ankle, child, is giving Anissa. It's giving Anissa. And we have no mothers of the episode. Truly, nobody is a mother. Truly, nobody is a mother. And I don't think Jeremy's the top. You know what? Y'all want to know the realty? The realty is if somebody was a mother, they're in MAGA Asylum right now, and her name is Sydney. Because Sydney is the one who carried this episode when it came to actually doing the challenges, but I'm not moving that hoe. So she better sit right there with the other MAGA. The fuck? And it's like everyone else, it's like nobody else mothered. Truly. I don't even think Jeremy is I guess Jeremy will be the best because he's in first. The fuck? This was just, oh girl, I'm done. I'm done talking about it. Y'all subscribe, like, share, comment, do the other shit, get into the shit because I'm done. I'm going home. Goodbye. Or I'm going to bed because I am home. I'm not going to bed. I'm going to the gym and I'm going to work out on that Stairmaster. Turbo. Goodbye. Y'all have a good one. Be blessed.